We are very honored to welcome this year's patron, live from Washington, D.C. now, Nadia Murad. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to speak at this year's Human Rights Film Festival. Filmmakers have a unique opportunity to shed light on important issues. The stories you tell can amplify the voices of those silent and drive change. This is needed now more than ever. Across the world, societies are faced with pressing human rights issues, racial inequality, gender-based violence, and displacement. The COVID-19 pandemic has pushed many of these issues to a breaking point. To address these issues, we must make clear the root causes, their impact, and opportunities for change. This is the only way to inspire the global community to take meaningful action. 6 years ago, I was a young girl living in Iraq when ISIS attacked our homeland. I was living a simple, peaceful life. ISIS came to destroy everything. They changed my life and the lives of thousands of women and girls from the Yazidi community. When I escaped ISIS captivity, I knew I had to tell my story, to raise awareness of the thousands of other young girls and women just like me. It seemed impossible that telling my story could lead to a change for my community. But over the past 6 years, it has brought international attention to the Yazidi cause. It has also increased awareness of the need to protect and support survivors of sexual violence globally. Germany has been a leader in the international community by listening to the stories of survivors and tangibly supporting them. Tens of thousands of Yazidi survivors of genocide and sexual violence have settled in Germany since 2014. Never underestimate how powerful it can be to tell your own story and empower others to share theirs. With a story, you can change the path of an entire community, and you can launch positive movements for change. Unfortunately, the reverse is also true. If stories are not told, if we cannot see the problem with our own eyes, we are unlikely to act. I have witnessed this with change as well. Each year that passes since the Yazidi genocide began, the world pays less attention. International will to support survivors, rebuild their homelands, and seek justice through international tribunals has lessened. But genocide, like so many systemic issues, is not an event. It is a process that continues to this day. This is why we must continue to tell these stories of oppression, survival, and hope. We must tackle these systemic issues so that communities like mine are not abandoned to live a life without dignity. As we look to the future, we should look to women. Women are often invisible because they are marginalized by inequality in their communities. Yet, They are the backbone of those communities. They play an essential role in building peaceful and prosperous societies. For too long, women's stories have been overlooked or told by men. Women deserve the opportunity to share their stories in a way that honors and represents the complexity of their experiences. The only way to do this is to make space for women and ensure they have the tools and sources to speak truth to power. Even more must be done to protect and support women who have survived trauma and violence. This is why I have helped create the Murad Code in partnership with the UK government, a universal code of conduct for interviewing and collecting evidence from survivors of sexual violence. I am grateful that the Conference on Storytelling as Empowerment this October will present the Murad Code and speak to these issues in greater detail. To close, I urge all of you to continue advocating for and defending human rights. Documentaries can serve to expose rights violations and strengthen the fight for dignity and justice. We must not take for granted that changes brought to our societies by women like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but continue to build on that progress. Filmmakers have an extraordinary platform to shed light on and push forward major issues that will benefit us all. The stories we tell about humanity now will determine our future and the future of generations to come. Thank you to all the filmmakers who provide a platform for those marginalized and underrepresented to share their stories with the world. It is not an easy task, but it is critical to making the world a more fair and just place. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sean.